So if this is your first live with me, welcome. My name is Lauren. I am a financial coach, and sorry, just checking my text just in case someone's like, I can't hear you. So I am a financial coach, and today we're going to talk about how to supercharge your productivity this summer so that you can actually enjoy the summer and sip that poolside margarita. Hi, Kiana. Oh, good. Okay, you can see me. This is good. Technicality issues avoided. Awesome. Or technical issues. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but this week has been crazy for me. So happy Friday. You made it. My little twins are going to be in kindergarten next year. So we had like kindergarten orientation and screenings and end of the year preschool stuff. So I am ready for summer. And based on people I see like rolling down their windows, even when it's like not even that warm out yet, and you know, rocking flip-flops already, everybody's ready for summer. But I also realized a few weeks ago that I was feeling a little anxious about this summer, and I didn't know why. But then I realized it's because I'm a routine girl. I like routines, and when I don't have them, I get a little nervous, and I have this fear sometimes in the summer of still getting all the things done for my business, but being able to not have FOMO and not miss out on, you know, fun events or going to the beach or laying by the pool or with the family. So I decided that productivity would be a good topic for today, especially because it is so interconnected with your business, financial wellness, and generating income. So if there's anyone out there that feels like me, where they're like, I want to have the best summer ever, but I'm a little worried because I still want to keep up with, you know, all the progress I've been making with my business, and I still want to devote the right amount of time and be efficient. Throw in the comments like, that's me or something down there, so I know. But don't worry, because after today's live, you're going to be getting tons of ideas of how you can be efficient this summer and not burn out and recharge and be just as efficient in less time so that you don't have that FOMO that we all can get, that fear of missing out. All right, so let's just hop right into it. Again, the topic is to supercharge your productivity this summer so you can have a margarita poolside. You agree? Oh, okay, yeah, good. I'm not the only one. And I think I must have been craving a margarita when I wrote this title. Sounds really good right about now. So we're going to talk about actionable productivity tips so that you have a toolkit of ideas to balance your efficiency and your fun this summer. Okay, so let's just hop right in. I have some notes here because there's a lot I want to cover today, and I want to make sure I don't leave anything out. All right, so we want to enhance our efficiency, reduce our burnout, and still be able to say yes when we want to. And now, notice I say when we want to because I kind of have a new motto for myself. Sometimes during the certain months or seasons, I give myself a motto, and I heard this recently and I love it. It's, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. Okay, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. And I'm really trying to embrace that, incorporate it into every day this summer. But the reason I say that too is because in the summer we sometimes get so busy that we focus on that busyness and we focus on saying yes to everything, and we feel guilt about saying yes to all the things for our kids or our friends or our family. So I want another mantra for the summer, and if you're with me, right, I'm with you, to be the quote from Tim Ferriss, and it's focus on being productive instead of busy. Okay? So, and I'm guilty of overusing the word busy, even when I walk into like CVS and I have 3 little boys and in tow, and everybody goes, oh, you're busy. You're busy. Like, it's one of those words everyone just tends to, and I'm like, yeah, wow, I am busy. But I'm going to focus on, hey, Melissa, I'm going to focus on being productive. Because let's be honest, busy is not the same thing as productive. Like, I could watch reruns for 3 hours of Law & Order SVU, because I like love Mariska Hargitay, and then have to crunch in everything left in the day. And I'm busy, but I wasn't necessarily productive. So we're going to focus on productive. Another word I'd like us to get rid of is overwhelmed. The word overwhelmed in itself just kind of makes us like have like emote in a certain way. I like productive, yes, much more achievable, yes, and measurable, and just better all around. So, but with overwhelmed, I feel like, I mean, we could be floating in the middle of a lake with not a care in the world. But if somebody says, are you overwhelmed? All of a sudden it's like, oh, I am overwhelmed. It's like the word itself causes overwhelm. So we're going to take busy and we're going to take overwhelm out of our vocabulary for the summer. Okay? And that is just going to make us more productive just to begin with, because that affects our mindset. All right, so linguistically, we're on the right track for what we want to do this summer. But what is the real secret for productivity for business owners or entrepreneurs? So it's really about managing your attention. What you give your attention to, what receives your attention, okay? And in my opinion, I like to further break it down into like 4 main pillars: planning, focusing, reflecting, and then recharging, okay? What is that? PFRR, not the coolest acronym. I was hoping it was a cool acronym like BOSS or something, but it's not. But we're going to focus on planning, focusing, reflecting, and recharging. And with those 4 pillars, we will be managing our attention and in turn be productive. All right? So we're going to go into detail about all of these things, but they are really important for us, especially recharging. Because mentally, I even tell my kids, I have twin, almost 6-year-olds, and then a little just turned 2-year-old. And I'll say to the twins, I'll be like, when I want some quiet or just like space for 10 seconds, I'll say, Mama needs to recharge. Like you recharge your remote control cars. And they like get it. They get it. So we need to recharge. And that is so important because otherwise the next thing we go to do, we're not going to do it efficiently or well. Okay. So in short, productivity is building discipline into our lives so that we're developing habits and rituals that are like winning habits and rituals, okay, that are moving the needle in our business. All right, so let's talk about specifics on how we're going to increase the output of our efforts, but decrease our stress and decrease the amount of time that we have to put in, okay? So the first group that I'm going to talk about of tips are going to be in regards to scheduling. So how to be productive when it comes to scheduling. All right. The first one is, and you might want to write these down, just even the titles of them, and you can watch them back later, because I am going to give some homework at the end, or what I like to call fun work. Okay. So the first one maybe is contrary to what you've heard before, but do not multitask. Do not multitask or multitask. I guess I say that weird. Multitask. Don't do it. Whatever it is. Get it out of your mind. And I know it's crazy I just said that because I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, yeah, right, Kristen? When I was growing up, it was like this great trait to have, like, oh, she's a wonderful multitasker, or look at you multitasking, or it was this like really positive trait. But the truth is, multitasking, all it's doing is taking your focus, because you have a limited amount of focus, and it's dividing it up among all the tasks that you're working on simultaneously. So studies show that you're actually being less productive, and what you do produce is poorer quality. So I want you to erase from your mind what we've always heard about multitasking, and with your business, we're not going to multitask anymore. Okay? And I realize there's certain parts of our life that we need to do it. Like with parenting, I'm still multitasking, okay? Because I need to put the waffles in the toaster and have headphones in my ear on a phone call while I'm changing a diaper. Okay? Still, all those aren't getting done well, but it just needs to happen. But with our business, we don't need to do it. Okay? And this is going to kind of lead us into the next one, which is prioritizing your most critical tasks. And then be deliberate about the time of day that you're completing them or working on them. So this is important because each task, we often like to pick the task that we enjoy the most and work on that first. But what we really need to do is prioritize them, not based on our desires, not based on what will get done quickest, but really based on what's moving the needle for our business. What's going to generate income, what's going to get us the clients, what's going to really actually have the biggest impact. And that is a task that we need to do first. And oftentimes, that should be in the morning because at the beginning of the day, that's when our brain power is at its peak, right? Before we've been exhausted or had any other of these influences throughout our day. So we want to work on that first. It also prevents us from doing it at the end of the day and having it fall into the didn't get done category. Okay? Is anybody with me on the didn't get done category? And if you have If you write things out like I do and you just draw an arrow to the next day, and you're like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. But we don't want that most critical task, the one that should be prioritized first, to keep getting pushed day to day because maybe it's not desirable or because it takes longer or more brain power. All right, so that is really important that we do that. The next thing is, and again, this kind of follows along with that, is to develop beneficial routines or rituals. Because routines give you discipline, okay? And I am a routine girl, so, and I don't know if anyone else there like needs routine, but I can get very anxious, and without routine, I actually feel more anxious, so I just like kind of naturally gravitate towards routines. It's not always a good thing, let me tell you. But if you don't naturally like crave routine or enjoy routine, it is something that's beneficial to force yourself to do for the sake of your business. Because otherwise, time just has this way of like disappearing and we don't know where it went, right? Time and money. I hear it all the time. I don't know where the money went. I don't know where the time went. So if we're not routine about things and disciplined, it's very easy for that to happen. So if you're not a routine person, just take baby steps, okay? Baby steps. Something as simple as the start and the end time of your working hours daily, okay? If you give yourself, this is the time I'm going to start, this is the time I'm going to end, you're creating a routine. I'm personally trying to work on my bedtime, like I'm a child, my bedtime, because, and not just the bedtime routine of like washing your face, brushing your teeth, but the time that I literally turn it all off mentally and go to bed. My kids have determined my wake up time of 5:30 lately, so that's not my choice. So I have the choice of my bedtime. So I'm trying to work on that because I need a certain amount of shut-eye or I am not productive and not really sane. So that's what I'm working on. So try to pick something for you. If you already are a routine person, we can always fix up our routines, pivot them a little bit, find things that are working great and do more of that, find things that need a little tweaking. Okay, number 4, you are going to rock your morning. Okay? Now, this is an area that there's a lot of inaccurate info. Again, just like the whole multitasking thing. There's so much info on this, which is really rigid in its thinking. So I'm actually devoting a whole Facebook Live to this topic on Wednesday, June 29th, same time at 3 p.m. Because mornings are definitely important. And what they do is they kind of set the rest of your day, right? They jumpstart the rest of your day. And they directly impact what your maximum output is going to be that day. However, contrary to popular belief, that doesn't mean that you have to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and you have to do 10 minutes of gratitude journaling, followed by 5 minutes of manifesting, followed by 15 minutes meditation, followed by a green juice, followed by a hike, through a national park. Okay, that was a little extreme. But has anybody, tell me if you have seen a lot of the gurus say this is how it has to be done, right? They talk about that power morning. And although that is wonderful for a lot of people and it definitely jumpstarts your productivity, not everybody, first of all, it's not realistic for everyone. If that's not realistic for you with your lifestyle or your family, throw in there like, nope, not going to happen to me in the comments. Not going to happen for me. So we still want a morning routine, but we want to make sure that we're personalizing it to our lifestyle, our personality, and what's really going to benefit our business. Because not every business, some businesses, in the evenings, it's important to be working. So we're going to talk more about that again on June 29th, so please tune in, but it's very important. And even if you don't have that 5 a.m. routine that all the gurus talk about, you still can have, maximum daily productivity by having a good morning routine that works for you and that is actually something that you can continue doing. It's reasonable, it's attainable, sustainable. Okay? Number 5 is to tackle your day with chunks. And I actually really hate the word chunks, but it's kind of important. Chunking. That's a little better. Chunks. So you're going to divide your day into parts and schedule breaks in between. Okay, so some tasks need daily attention. For instance, answering your email, maybe answering phone calls, voicemails. But other tasks are maybe weekly or monthly, like scheduling out your social media content, or checking your financials for your business, or payroll, all the different things. So make sure that you are creating a chunk, because remember, we're not multitasking, for each one of those things that needs to get done that day. Okay? And then you want to account for some breaks in between. So I really like to use a technique that's called the Pomodoro technique. I actually posted about it in the group a few weeks ago in one of the comments, so maybe you saw it, and there was a cool little graphic. I think Pomodoro is a type of tomato. I'm not really positive on that. Maybe it's the person's name who created it, but it's a wonderful technique, and it basically has you working in 25-minute chunks followed by a 5-minute break, and those are each Pomodoros. They're called Pomodoros. Okay, so how many Pomodoros you do in the day. I also really like Amy Porterfield. She has something she calls Tiger Time, and she has little templates, free templates for that, which I really like. So whatever works for you, but chunking is the most efficient way to get rid of distractions, be productive, and also avoid multitasking. Because we have been programmed to multitask, so we have to be deliberate in the way that we stop doing that. All right, number 6, delegate. It is a tomato? Thank you, Judy. I thought so, but I don't know. All of a sudden I was like, ooh, I could be totally off the mark on this one. All right, awesome. Yeah, because the graphic I saw had like tomatoes and chunks. It's such a weird image of chunks of tomatoes for being productive, but it works. Okay, so delegating. This is a hard one if you're a perfectionist, or if you are a control freak like I am. You love that method. Yeah, I think it's really helpful. It just like makes it very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like formulaic throughout the day, and I gravitate towards that. So I agree, Judy, for sure. But so if you're a perfectionist or a control freak like me, it's hard. But if you have the cash flow, you should be delegating the tasks that either you don't particularly enjoy or that don't require your particular expertise. Okay? You still want to make sure you are reviewing, the output of whoever you are delegating the task to, probably at least weekly, to make sure it's reaching or meeting your expectations. But that really helps with productivity. If you've ever read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's one of the big distinguishing or distinctions between the two, is recognizing that everybody has their strengths, and outsourcing when it's not in particular your strength. Okay? All right, number 7, take breaks so that you can replenish your focus. All right? This goes along with chunking, right? We need mental breaks, whether it's closing your eyes, resting, watching a YouTube video. So Pomodoro method is like 5-minute breaks. I would say up to 15 minutes. You don't want to do a break past 15 minutes, because then you start to spiral. You know what I mean? Past 15 minutes, it's not really necessary to regain the focus. So I had just said you could watch a YouTube video, but if you have like a problem with YouTube, where like once you watch you can't stop, then that's not your break. Okay, find something else. Go for a walk, grab a snack, do some stretches after like a long phone call, or grab a coffee. Whatever works for you, whatever helps you clear your brain. Yeah, breaks are good, right? Breaks are very good. And the science is behind it. Data shows that we have a certain amount of time focusing before we're really just not productive and we're not doing our best work. So breaks are good for us mentally, and also efficiently, and also in the product that we are delivering. So win, 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 win. All right. Now we're going to talk about some productivity tips from like more of a management perspective. Remember, those were all like more of a scheduling based. So number 8 in our tips is to reflect on your past week's performance. This is really important, and this is something I have to remind myself. I actually schedule in reflection, because we're so, I can't say the word, productive. I almost said busy, but remember, we're not using the word. We're so productive, and we have a lot of things on our to-do list, or in our Pomodoro chunks there. But so it's really easy for us not to reflect, right? Because that's not like something you're checking off. But you could add to list and check it off. But it's really important. Even if you do like a Saturday night, Saturday morning, like just quick review of how the week went, look at what's working, what's not working, and then, make adjustments what's not working. Because otherwise you're just, what is that expression? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know. I have that wrong. But you know what I'm saying. If you're not making adjustments, you're not progressing, and you're not constantly improving your productivity. All right. Number 9, be careful with email addiction. I have this one too. So it really sounds so simple, but it's just like social media where you can spend huge amounts of time checking your email. And technically you feel like you're being productive, especially if it's like your work email. But if you're like me, maybe you've signed up for or you subscribe to a lot of newsletters or you're just going through or it's like needless things. And then if you're like me, you also don't like seeing all the unread numbers in your email. I just had a problem with that. But you lose so much time there, and it's really not moving the needle on your business, checking all those emails. Obviously, you don't want to miss like a client email or an important one. Thank you, Melissa. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's right. That was the end part I was missing. Exactly. So you need to pivot. You need to learn from what you're doing, right? Yes. So back to email. Suggestion, you check your email only 3 to 5 times per workday, okay? And you set alarms in your phone so that you're consistent on those times and that you don't check in between. And I know that can be painful at first. And of course, it depends on your business and there's certain reasons what you may need to check in between. But in general, you want to try to do that so that when you're chunking, you're not checking your email, okay? You can even give that its own chunk, which you should. It shouldn't be, email should not be like the overlay across all of your tasks throughout the day because then you're multitasking again and then you're taking away from the other tasks. Okay. Number 10, carry a notebook or your phone notes everywhere you go. I always get my best ideas, I swear, at like 2 a.m. Or maybe I just think they're really good because I'm exhausted. But I get these great ideas. And then when I finally wake up at like 5:30, when my boys like jump on me, it's gone. I can't remember the idea for the life of me. It's like completely gone. That earth-shattering idea that I thought of that was going to be like pivotal for the whole world. I'm exaggerating a little, but you know what I mean. So write it down, okay? I used to use my phone notes, but that created a problem because at 2 a.m. I'd go in my notes and write it down and something about the light in your face, and then I'd notice like all the unread emails, and then I'd be like, oh, I'll just check real quick on something, and then before I know it, I was like totally awake, or I went into some like Facebook spiral. So some like media hole, social media hole. So now I use a mini notebook and a pen, like I'm a detective, and I just like carry it with me everywhere. It's very strange, but it fits in your back pocket. And some great ideas don't escape you, which makes you more productive because you're not wasting that time trying to think of them again. So that helps. And then some productivity ideas for recharging or replenishing your focus and replenishing your energy, because both are really important for being productive. Remember that discipline piece. So number 11, reward yourself and your team if you have a team, okay? Everyone likes to be appreciated for their hard work, for their accomplishments, but even you like it too. So reward yourself, within reason. No like 45-day retreats to a spa. That sounds great. But you know what I mean. So reward yourself. That will replenish you mentally. That will recharge you. Number 12, learn the art of saying no and having boundaries, okay? Because this is how you recharge also. If you're saying yes to everything, you're not giving yourself the time or the space, the mental space to recharge. And remember, we already touched upon this a little bit. If it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. That's my new mantra. Okay, sometimes we say yes to projects or events and we're not even realizing that we're like stealing time away from what's really going to move the needle in our business, right? And it all comes with good intentions, but it ultimately leaves very little room for recharging. So we want to try to stop doing that. Number 13, when you step away, okay? So hard to do when you're an entrepreneur because it's your baby, it's your business. And you always have that, well, what if there's this important client email? What if there's this? What if there's that? When you step away, everything's going to be okay. Step away, all right? You're not a machine. You need to relax. You need to recharge. You need to sleep, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, or else you're going to burn out. And then that's not good for business either. All right. Number 14, focus on yourself. So in the past, I've done Facebook Lives on self-care because it's so important, but especially it does impact your productivity and it impacts, therefore, the bottom line of your business, your revenue in your business. So it is very much related to your finances, self-care. I know it doesn't seem it necessarily, but your mindset and your mental wellness really impacts your financial wellness. So self-care. All right, so those are like my 14 big productivity tips that you now have in your toolkit to use throughout the summer so that you can have that margarita by the pool. I'm so excited. We put in a pool last summer. But it wasn't done until like November, so it's like the first summer of the pool. Psyched. And the boys are going to be in camp a little bit. The other one's going to nap. It's going to be great. But I still want to be productive. So let's just summarize. I like to summarize at the end of the live. So let's talk about the key takeaways. So the first one was, remember the Tim Ferriss quote. So we are focusing on being productive instead of busy, because they're different, okay? Another takeaway is we're going to take busy and overwhelmed out of our summer vocabularies and then beyond, but we're just working on the summer for now. And what does it mean? What is the secret to productivity for entrepreneurs? It's all about managing your attention. What gets your attention, how you focus your attention, how you recharge your attention. So as you recall, I broke it down into like my own 4 pillars of planning, focusing, reflecting, and recharging. All right. And then lastly, to kind of summarize the tips, we had no more multitasking, prioritize and complete the most important task first every day, using chunking and routines, delegating when appropriate, take breaks to regain your focus, reflect, and then pivot based on those reflections, what's working, what's not working, reward yourself and your employees within reason, say no more often, those boundaries, limit your daily email checking, and carry around a detective notebook. You don't have to do a detective one, but I think you should. It's kind of fun. All right. So that is what we talked about. I want to give you some action items because all this is great, but if you just watch this and you think like, oh, that was cool, and then you don't do anything on it, it's not going to help you be productive. So I'm going to give you some fun work, not homework, it's fun work. Okay. Number 1, you only have 2 things. Don't worry. It's super easy and it's fun. Number 1, you are going to create a routine. Even if you have no routine right now, and it's as simple as the start time and the end time of your work day or your work hours. If you already have a routine, I just want you to look it over, find something that's not working, and tweak it. Okay? No problem. We've got that. Okay? If you've got that, if you feel good, write, I don't know, got it. Or like, yes. Or I got this. I'm going to rock this. Whatever you want. Okay. The second thing you're going to do for part of your fun work is you are going to designate 3 to 5 weekday times to check your email. This one might be a little painful, okay? But you're going to get there, and then you're going to love it, okay? Pain first, success after. So, for instance, if you're going to do like 4 times, you could do 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 5 p.m. And that's it. You're not checking your email in between. And now I'm talking about work email, but I think you should extend it probably to personal email too. I think that would be good for us all. So set alarms on your phone, maybe vibrate in case you're in a meeting or a client call or something. So I'd like you to do that. You can do it, okay? 3 to 5 times. If this is going to be really painful for you, start with 5 times. Then try to work your way down to 3. Then you're going to notice you get a lot more done in the day. Okay? Do those sound doable? Those fun work action steps? Right, hell yes if they do. I think you've got this. I feel pretty confident over here that you've got this. All right. So this was really fun. I hope you are excited for your summer. I hope you now feel like your toolkit is full of ways to be productive so that you can still have fun and not have that FOMO of having to say no to things this summer. And I just want to close out by telling you about a complimentary opportunity to chat with me one-on-one. And if you're ready to finally take, oh, hell yes. Oh, sorry, there's a delay, I think. Melissa, hell yes. Judy, hell yeah. Oh, yeah, you guys got this. Okay. If you're ready to take control of your time and make more money in your business, so less time, more money. Who doesn't want that? And you really want to walk away with complete clarity on how organizing your finances, upgrading your pricing model, and developing efficient business systems will really increase your business's like bottom line, then I would love to chat with you. I have the opportunity for you to book a free discovery call, 30 minutes. We'll chat about your business, where you're at, what's working, what's not working, and you will walk away with some clarity as far as what your next steps should be. I will throw, I'll throw the link to the scheduler right here in the comments. So if you're interested, you want to chat, and again, it's complimentary, 30 minutes. You can hop over into that scheduler and grab a time, and I would love to talk to you.